Hello, everyone. I just want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. Today is, according to the cell phone, Thursday, May the 4th. However, that is not correct, which I might do a video about that later. But the cell phone says it's Thursday, May the 4th, and it's around 2 o'clock, maybe 2:15. Okay, so today I am back with another word. Today's message, I really struggled with whether I was going to post or not. This is something that happened about a month ago, I would say, towards the beginning or the middle of, it would have been March. And so I'm just going to share about an experience that I had and connect it to something else. So today's message is going to be called Firework, an ignited moment or shift in the atmosphere. So again, this happened back around the first or second Monday of March. And I remember it was a Monday, and that particular weekend, I had just been feeling really heavy, just really heavy, And when I woke up that morning, I woke up with this Katy Perry song in my spirit, and it's the song Firework. And I just couldn't shake it. And so I just felt like I needed to listen to it. So I listened to the song, and as I'm listening to the song, it was almost like a prophetic moment, because I literally felt like there had been a shift in the atmosphere from just the day before and how I was feeling to like something shifted today. Something shifted, and God used that song, Firework, to communicate that to me. Okay, so let me preface this. As you know, I'm recording outside. Today's a beautiful day here in Miami, and I'm at a park. So I'm actually on the other side of the park. So I'm just kind of giving you a visual of the trees and how beautiful it is. But so if you hear noises or something in the background, then that would be why. So anyway, back to the message at hand. So I'm listening to this song, and I'm listening to the song over and over again. And I just sense, and I just know in my spirit that something had shifted. I wasn't sure what, but I felt it. I felt like something has shifted in the atmosphere, even from yesterday. And the more I listened to the song, the more excited I got, the happier I became. It was just a really kind of just like a divine moment. But I felt like the Lord used that song to communicate to me that there had been a shift in the atmosphere. And something had shifted. And that's exactly what I felt. So I'm going to talk about, I'm not really going to do a full song interpretation, because that's not really what I felt led to do. I just felt more led to speak about how God used the song to communicate that to me. And that was basically what I wanted to say. But I am going to speak about the lyrics of the song. Because, of course, the song is about, the beginning verse is about, when you're feeling kind of overwhelmed and, overtaken by life's challenges or circumstances. And that's how I was feeling. That entire weekend, I just felt so blah. Not necessarily depressed, but just what's going on, Lord? I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. until he, like I said, until he woke me up with that song in my spirit, and I listened to it. And the one lyric that was standing out is oh yeah, and then there's a verse in the song where it talks about, where I just basically feel like it's talking about like, when you're needing to get up again, start again, perhaps after a failure or perhaps a disappointment or something didn't work out. The song is about like believing in yourself and knowing that all you need is on the inside of you. And there's a lyric in the song that even states, it's always been inside of you. And just recognizing that even when you go through moments of like failure or disappointment, or maybe things are just not turning out the way you want them to turn out, that God has placed the answer on the inside of you. Like, it's always been inside of you. It's the answers that you need are on the inside of you. You just, like she says in the song, you just got to let it through. So that was one part of the song, but the part of the song and the lyric in the song that really was captivating me every time I listened to it was when she says, maybe the reason why all the doors are closed so you can open one that leads you to the perfect road. So every time I would listen to the song and every time I would hear that lyric, I would just feel happier and more excited than before. And that's really what I felt like God was saying to me. Like, something has shifted. Like, there's been a shift in the atmosphere. And he used the song to communicate it to me. And that lyric was what was standing out. Like, maybe all the doors are closed right now for me because God wants me to dig deep and open up one. He wants me to, open one that leads to the perfect road. So he's not allowing doors to open, in a sense, because he wants me, again, to know that he's put the answer on the inside of me and that I have what it takes to get myself out of this situation, of course, with his help. But everything I need, he's placed on the inside of me, and the doors are closed because he wants to open one that leads me to the perfect road. And sometimes that means we have to wait on God. We have to wait on God to open the right door. And that's kind of what the song was communicating to me that particular day. But I definitely felt in my spirit a shift, like something has shifted. And it was even reflected in my attitude. And I just felt so joyful. I mean, I felt really just completely joyful. So that's really all I want to say about the song in particular and that particular moment. But I am going to connect this with something that also ties back to Katy Perry. And she even states in the lyric about, I named this an ignited moment, because to ignite something means to catch fire or to cause to catch fire. And from what I have learned about an ignited moment is when, again, it's like when something is taken to another level. That's an ignited moment. Like, you were on one level and then you go to another level. It's like an upgrade, so to speak. In that moment, in that season, in the spirit, however you want to put it. So it's an ignited moment is when you were on this level, but something happened, something caught fire, something got turned on, and it took you to another level. And that's what I was sensing. And again, the more I listened to this song, the more I felt it. It was just like a confirmation. And so what I really want to talk about now is just again, something that's going to tie back into Katy Perry. And I'm trying to get my thoughts together. So I'm going to tell you about when I was in Bible school, which was around 2014. There was a book that the Lord laid on my heart to purchase. And the book was called Call Me Crazy, But I'm Hearing God. And it's a book that was written by a prophet by the name of Kim Clement. And now this particular book was actually written in 2007. And I remember when the book was released, this was during a time when I was heavily into going to church and everything like that. And I was watching a lot of TBN. I mean, my TV stayed on Christian music station, Christian channels. So I was very familiar with and had followed this prophet, Kim Clement, through that particular Christian station. So I knew who he was. So like I said, I knew who he was, and began to kind of loosely follow his ministry. And so that's how I initially became, I knew of the book back when it was released in 2007, but I didn't actually purchase the book until I was in Bible school. And the Lord laid it on my heart to get the book. And so that was around 2014 or so. And so I got the book and I read the book, and it's an amazing book. It's about hearing the voice of God, learning to hear the voice of God. And he also shares a lot about his testimony. And just so you know a little bit about who he was, unfortunately he passed in 2016. But he is South African. He was born in South Africa during apartheid. And when I believe he was a singer, a songwriter. And he was a prophet, called by God to be a prophet. And when he was 17 years old, he was addicted to heroin. And he got caught up in the drug and the rock and roll scene of the 70s. When he was, in South Africa. And then in 1974, his life, and he shares this in the book, his life was drastically changed when he was in a bar and in the bathroom, and he got robbed and shot. He managed to get himself outside, and he fell in a ditch, and he knew that he was dying. And he cried out to the Lord. And when he cried out to the Lord, there was a gentleman that extended his hand to him in order to help him. And this man was a Christian and ministered to him, got him saved. Of course, he ended up not dying. And from there, he gave his life to the Lord and just fully committed to the call of God that was on his life. So that's a little bit about him. And like I said, he does share that in the book. He talks about his journey from, that type of lifestyle to, being a man of God and being called to be a prophet of God. It's a powerful book, so I highly recommend it if you're, and it's an easy read as well. It's a good read and it's a simple read. It's not super deep. So if you're interested in learning about hearing the voice of God, and sometimes that's how I feel like, oh my God, people will think you're crazy when you start hearing from God, and when God starts speaking to you in a way that is not common. So anyway, he was given, or it's been spoken that he has been one of the most amazing prophets of our time. And again, he passed away of cancer, I believe it was, in 2016. But some of the things that he prophesied that came to pass was 9/11, Hurricane Katrina, Saddam Hussein's capture, as well as giving a lot of personal prophetic words to individuals and celebrities. Now, this is the connection with Katy Perry, because this man of God, Kim Clement, prophesied over her life. And I know that from, again, when I was following him, watching a lot of TBN, that was one of the things, that was shared. And I want to say that they even shared maybe a video. I'm not for sure. I can't say that for sure, but I believe there was even a video of where he prophesied over her. And I believe she may have been in her late teens at that time, maybe in the early 20s. But I believe she may have been a teenager. I can't quote that for sure. But anyway, he prophesied over her life that she would be doing exactly what she's doing. Now, my understanding from, I think I've seen at least one or two documentaries about Katy Perry, is that I think she initially started trying to do Christian music, and for some reason the doors didn't open. And so she ended up, doing secular music. But he prophesied over her life that she would be doing exactly what she's doing. And I don't know the exact prophecy that he spoke over her, but he did prophesy over her that she would be doing exactly what she's doing, and she is. It's come to pass, and that I know that that she would impact this generation, and she is. Her music is very happy, it just makes you happy. I mean, I'm sure she has some, I don't know her entire music repertoire, but whenever I listen to her, I love the strong beats. I love her lyrics are also empowering. And this song, like I said, when I was listening to the song that day, it's like the more I listened to it, the happier I became. And again, just listening to the words and the lyrics, it was just perfect. It was everything I needed to hear. And so I just wanted to make like that connection, in that, this man of God prophesied over Katy Perry's life, and she is indeed doing everything that he said that she would do. Now, I am not sure. I know that Katy comes from a Christian family. I believe her parents were missionaries or pastors, but they were leaders. And, she grew up, I think, in a more kind of strict type religious environment. So, but I've even seen her parents on different interviews, speaking about their faith. So she comes from a family of faith. I'm not sure where she is at this point in her spiritual walk, but, I pray that, that which she was taught will remain and will stand in her life. But I just wanted to share this particular incident, however you want to call it. Initially, I wasn't going to share it. I really had talked myself out of it, and I just felt like the Lord wanted me to do this. So I just want to say, again, it was always an honor to give honor to a man of God such as Kim Clement, even though he's not with us anymore. He really was a true prophet and a powerful man of God. And the fact that he did prophesy over Katy Perry's life, and she's doing, as well as prophesied other things, and she's doing exactly what he prophesied she would be doing, and the impact that she is having on a generation. So we just continue to pray for her, and pray for her family, that she will continue to walk in the light and be a light and a witness to this generation. Everybody's not called to do Christian music. Everybody's not called to be in a church pulpit, God has unique callings on people's lives, and He places them accordingly. And it may be that the doors didn't open for her in Christian music because she was supposed to go down a different road. And she is, and she's making a tremendous impact. So thank you, Katie, for your music. I love a lot of your songs. I could name quite a few of them. I love what you do lyrically. So one of the ones that I will mention that I really love is the one, I would go blank when I'm trying to name it, Grace of God, By the Grace of God. That's one that I listen to a lot and really, really helped me get through a dark season. So thank you for that song. Thank you for Firework. Thank you for all that you are doing. And I pray that you continue to be a light and a witness to this generation. God bless you. Thank you all for listening. Until next time.